Today, bidding farewell to a giant, not just in the Muslim community, but also someone who has contributed immensely to South Africa. Who was Dr. Anwah Nagia to you?
Dr. Anwah Nagia was a human activist. He stood for social justice. He stood for the poor and the voiceless people. Dr. Anwah Nagia was an activist in motion. He had tireless nights, days that he spent for the well-being of the broader community. Dr. Anwah Nagia is a fearless voice. A few meters away from here, he established the Palestine Museum because his commitment to the Palestinian liberation struggle was central to his life. And so, yes, indeed, we have lost an icon, a giant, a person that will be missed by friends and family, but more so by the voiceless and the poor and the underprivileged people of our community and society.
Now, we understand that the actual janaza prayers will be taking place just before 1 o'clock or just after 1 o'clock today. Can you explain to us what currently is taking place here at the New Street Mosque?
So we are going to be having a few speeches here of people who are sharing and pouring out their hearts. And Judge Siraj Desai is bound to speak as well. And after that, we will, and remember, we are strictly abiding by COVID-19 protocols, or that is what we aspire to. So at 1 o'clock, we will have the 1 o'clock prayer. And immediately after the prayer, the Janaza Salah, the funeral prayer will be taking place. And that will be led by his family.
He will be laid to rest. If you can explain to us where that will take place?
That will be at the Mulberry Qabristan at the gravesite, where he will be taking. But let me just also say, in terms of his tireless contribution in efforts, I would like to acknowledge his dearest wife, his sons, his family, and his friends that stood with him. I mean, during this particular period, during COVID-19 and during his sicknesses, I can testify to their struggle to keep the community abreast by his conditions. We are pained by his passing on.
As someone who has been described as a great philanthropist, as someone who's been described as a freedom fighter, a humanitarian, a businessman who has established not just the Palestine Museum, but also founder of the District 6 Museum here in Cape Town, as someone that has been described as a great South African, a great humanitarian, died yesterday at the age of 62 years old, and family, friends, and those who knew him, those who loved him, also those who have benefited from his great generosity, coming out to pay the respects to Dr. Anwah Nagia.